So thank you for being here, Ehsan. How have you been,
Um,
first of all?
that's very good to be with you, and
Okay,
thanks for this opportunity and
right.
set this interview with me.
Yeah,
I'm really happy to talk about myself, my career, and everything.
right.
Thanks for your time.
So if I would ask, how long have you been in painting? Did you study? I know this is your master's program. That's
Yes,
what
it
you've
was.
come here to
Yeah.
do. Did you do like if you had like a previous master's before now, or what were
hmm
you doing before coming to pursue? Did you say creative arts? You said.
Yes,
Yeah. So what were you
creative
doing
industries.
before that? Yeah.
It's a longer story, actually. As you mentioned, I graduated recently,
Right.
Master of Fine Art with Advanced Practice, but the story.
Congrats, by the way.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Story started when I was in kindergarten.
Right.
Uh, I can remember a day. It was an elephant on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to
Right.
have a copy in my sketchbook, and then my kindergarten teacher, her name was Farah. She
Right.
told me, "Wow, are you Picasso?" I asked her, "Who is Picasso?" I was about 5.
Yeah.
I asked her, "Who's Picasso?" She told me that he's a good painter.
Yeah.
I said, "I don't know," but it was a point that started the journey.
Right.
This encouragement changed my life till now that I'm 36 now.
Oh,
I
that's
was 5 and now I'm 36.
that's a long time. That's a long time.
And I'm eager to find her and say thank you.
So more or less, that's how you discover the passion for painting. I would say.
Yeah. And after that, I was so lucky because I have born in a family that encouraged me to be a painter always.
Right.
They didn't encourage me to be a to be an engineer or a doctor,
Yeah. Yeah.
anything else. They admire me to be a painter. They encourage me to go forward. They always bought me color pencils, sketchbooks. They kept all of the sketchbooks
Boom.
since my childhood. Yeah,
Mm.
when I was in secondary school and primary school, kindergarten even, and then I went after kindergarten. When I went into primary school,
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky to have some teachers that encouraged me as well. When I was in the first year, my teacher, she was a nice and kind lady. She discovered my talent and my interest in painting.
Mm-hmm.
Then she tried to have me in other classes and be a model for other students and draw something on blackboard and
I know.
as follow. Yeah, these encouraged these things encourage me to
To
follow up the
push, yeah.
process.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's interesting your story because I mean, it's one thing to have a passion, and it's one another thing to have parents or family
yeah,
that really support you. Like you said, in your case, they
yeah,
were buying like materials for you to help, which
yeah.
is the best way they could support you, and that's just a good heartfelt story to hear.
Very
Yeah.
good. I can add when I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
in the year that we had to choose a major,
Mm-hmm.
most of the students try to be an engineer
Right.
because of economical situations and
Yeah, of
other
course.
things. But I was one of the rare students that tried to be a graphic designer and going to technical and vocational school, and we were only 15
So there were not
students.
many students doing what you were doing.
We were only 15 between 100 and 1,000 students that
Oh,
choose
that's
to be in technical and vocational school for fine arts
right.
in our
So, but
hometown
did that
city.
discourage you at any point, seeing that a lot of people were taking like a different path? And
No, because of my family.
oh yeah,
They encourage me to
just
follow
follow
the
whatever
thing
you
that I
what
like.
lights you up.
Yeah. And equipments and materials for fine art are always expensive wherever you are, and they
So
provide
it would have been enough reason not to want you go down that path for them, because I mean, like you said, it was expensive. So if for some reason they didn't support you, they would have just said, "Oh, it's expensive anyways, and we cannot afford to buy it," and that would have discouraged you a whole lot. Yeah.
never. Even for a moment, they just told me that go forward. You are very good. You are very good. You are really talented.
Yeah.
You have to follow.
Yeah.
And
so yeah,
the story.
That's good. I mean, so my next question is: I've seen a lot of your paintings on Instagram.
Thank you.
And they're amazing. I can.
Thanks so much, man.
Nothing short of it. And,
thanks so much, man.
But I've noticed again that you do a lot of geometric patterns.
Yeah, recently.
Is that your style, or is it something you've picked over time, or has that always been your style? And why have you chosen to do more geometric patterns as opposed to exploring like other?
The answer is second option that you mentioned. This is the thing that I picked up recently. Recently means about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
Before that, I was realistic. I was a realistic painter and printmaker, but after a while, I picked up this style because I really like geometric shapes and patterns and simplicity.
Right.
I have to say.
Yeah.
But I know that I will be a simple. I will be in a simple style, but probably geometric patterns will not be as stable and the main style of my paintings and
But it's all part of
paintings. Yeah, because I can say that I'm minimalist and interested in simplicity.
Right.
But they are not briefed in geometric patterns. For example, these days, I'm sketching in my sketchbooks some other simple shapes, but they are not geometrical. And my way is like this. I'm sketching in my sketchbooks, do a lot, and after a while, I show a project. And my next exhibition will be surprising because it's not going to be completely geometrical anymore, but it will be abstraction.
So you're going to do more abstract paintings now?
Yes, yeah.
So what type of materials do you use for your painting? What's like, talk me through what kind of materials you use for your painting?
3 mediums I can mention at the moment. When I'm working on canvases, I use acrylic colors.
Oh yeah, I remember that one because I think she mentioned.
They're so suitable for this style of painting, because they dry so fast after 2, 3, 5 minutes.
Just dry up.
Yeah, and you can go fast. The color before using and after using is the same. Almost the same.
Yeah, like are there colors, are there types of or kinds of materials that you use that tend to change after use?
Yeah. Sometimes some kind of paints, some kind of colors change a lot after and before using, but about acrylic colors, they're almost the same. Depends on the quality.
It doesn't change much.
It doesn't change. Beside that, I've always been into the sketchbooks and color pencils. This is the thing that all the painters and printmakers do. All of them have some sketchbooks for thinking, actually, because we have to think on paper, not in our mind. You have to think on paper, and you have to do it every day. And another medium that I'm interested in too, and I think I'm really good at, is printmaking.
Printmaking,
yeah. Intaglio printmaking. That means working on copper plates, zinc plates, and the name is etching printmaking, aquatint printmaking, even photo etching, printmaking.
Mm-hmm.
As I like photographing, and sometimes I can print some of my photos.
Oh,
So this is
do you paint every day?
not paint but draw.
You
On my
draw every day, every day,
almost
almost
every day. Yeah, because it's impossible to do it every day.
because you always have like projects you're working on that carries on.
Yeah, and sometimes at my workplace, after that I have to go to the gym or do something else. Then I'm so tired.
But you try as much as you can to do. Yeah, that's good.
I don't want to be the one dimension person.
Yeah, just focused on work. Yeah. Just live a little.
Yeah, I like to read things. I like to play games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I like to communicate with people. I don't like to be like that kind of painters that are dedicated everything to their job and try to be like Van Gogh or others. I prefer to be like Picasso.
Yeah, I know. Still have time for other things.
Yeah. Some recreations I need. For example, I need to do workout every day.
Yeah.
Going to the gym, for example. I have to go out with friends, with family.
Yeah.
All of them.
So of all your paintings, what's like on that top for you? Like I know you've had some really amazing paintings that you've done, which I have seen. So what's like the top one for you? Do you name your paintings?
Yes, always.
So what's like the top one for you of all the paintings you've had? What's like on the top for you?
Form, not content. Yeah,
Right.
every painting is including two things: form and content.
Form, okay. Can you explain what that means?
Sure. For example, if you paint a figure, a lady, a naked lady, with some expression in her face, your painting has two things: the expression that you want to show, for example, sadness or happiness, and the colors that you have used, the kind of lines that you have painted, they are forms. The thing that is interesting for me in painting is form, not content, actually.
Right.
And there's an idea that says that there is no content in painting and visual arts. All the things that we have are forms, and forms will say your content. So I don't try to say anything special in my paintings. I just try to make something decorative.
Right.
Make something beautiful. I have to
Right.
say, make something beautiful, not always decorative. But my paintings are described as decorative
paintings,
and I'm not afraid because of that.
Do you tell stories in your painting?
No,
No.
Unfortunately, no.
So there's no like, oh, I'm doing this because okay, I have this sort of story in my head I want to depict.
No, because I don't have any stories in my head.
You just go with whatever comes. But what inspires you though? Like, everyone gets inspired by something to create something.
Yeah.
What's that for you?
For example, when I was in my country, many landscapes, many.
Sorry to cut you. Where are you from?
I'm from Iran.
Oh, Iran.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm from
Just
Iran.
so they know.
Yeah, good point. I'm from Iran, and like many other artists, when you're in your hometown, you have lots of sources
Right.
to get inspired.
Yeah.
By changing your location, you will cut the process, and you have to find new inspirations. For example, when I was in my country, all the landscapes, many senses, and even many colors in the sky, and especially lots of geometric patterns in architectural buildings.
Buildings, yeah.
Yeah, were my source of inspiration.
Yeah.
But these days, I became more minimal. I'm reading and I'm discovering color theories and something like this. So I changed my source of inspiration.
Switch focus, yeah. I mean, that's good to. It's always good to try out like different stuff. I would say, like for me, um, I could sometimes I want to make clothes from scratch, and sometimes I just want to go into the shop, pick a jacket, and just completely change the look of the jacket. So I can. My next question to you is: Have you ever been? Have you ever felt doubted yourself in one way or another? Have you ever felt like, is this sustainable in the long run? Am I going to do it for as long as I want to? Have you had doubts in your mind?
Yeah.
And have you felt challenged in one way or the other? And what was it like for you in your arts, in your creative journey?
I always have some doubts in my mind, always.
And how do you deal with that?
What I am doing, is it right or not? What's my future?
Mm-hmm.
What's my career
Right.
going on? And do I have any future or not? Will I be successful or not?
Yeah.
Am I trying enough or not?
So you ask yourself these questions.
Always.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm trying to have empathy with myself.
Yeah.
And I say, poor me, because I'm under pressure. Is the thing that I'm doing, is that fine or not? For example, am I lost? I can remember I saw a documentary about Gerhard Richter, the famous painter from
What's her
Germany.
name?
Gerhard Richter.
Oh, right. She's German.
She's German. He's German, actually.
Oh, he's German.
He's, in my opinion, he's the best alive painter at the moment.
What attracts you to him?
His various styles during the time. He's not painting anymore because he's 86, about 86, and his hands doesn't work anymore.
Shaky hands, yeah.
But if you follow his career, you can find 6-7 different styles, and
Painting.
he has been successful in all of them.
Mm.
He's genius.
Do you see yourself towing that path? Or
I like to be. I want to be like him, but I saw a documentary with you, and he was painting, and interview. Suddenly, he put everything on the ground, and went out and started smoking. The interview asked him, "Are you disappointed? Are you in debt?" He said, "I'm always, because I'm not sure about what I'm doing, and nobody is not sure.
yeah,
Nobody's not sure."
that's deep.
Yeah.
No one
so
is sure
deep.
of what they're doing. They just carry on and hope that
It's about human beings.
pieces.
But when you're doing, for example, a worker in a factory, the thing that you have to do, it's completely clear. Everything is clear. You have some doubts about your personal life. But when you're doing as a creative, for example, a painter, even your job is not clear. And your money is not secure, and your future is not secure. So you have always think about what you are doing and your future. Will you be successful or not?
Yeah.
This is the point.
So having this in mind, how were you able to still pick yourself up? Because I think you have these doubts, but it doesn't stop you from doing what you're doing.
Oh.
So how do you have that mind shift that moves from, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, to, okay, I still have to do it anyways?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you switch from being in that doubtful position to a position where you have you regain that power and that strength to still keep doing what you're doing?
I just focus on the positive aspects. Yeah. And if you compare, positive aspects are bigger than negative, because we can live only once.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a
Agree
kind
with
of cliche, but this is true. We can live only once, and
you.
I prefer to live like a normal person and do whatever I like, rather than being a worker or a 9 to
Right.
5, other things. Yeah, and that's interesting to create something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, it's like I said, you said something I think is very profound. You said as a creative, you always doubt yourself. You're not sure what you're
Always.
doing. You don't have like the holistic picture, like the big picture clear to you, but you just trust that, you know what, I'm just going to do it anyways. If I can see the next step or the next step, if I can have a clarity of what the next step should be, I
Yeah,
think that's enough to keep going.
that's enough.
That's
That's
enough to
enough.
keep going. And that's a really good way to see things, not just as a creative, as a human being in life. Because then you're trying to venture into something, you're not sure what you want to do, but you just know that there's that strong feeling to want to do it.
Yeah,
And I feel like that strong feeling is enough valid reason
a valid reason.
to do it. Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
A valid reason. I don't want to be very dark, but it's interesting to say that we are living in a hole,
Right.
all of us.
Okay.
Some people just try to make this hole more beautiful. We don't know the destination, we don't know the final chapter of this story, but we can just make it more beautiful. And by the end of the story, we died. So I prefer to be in the society that
Right.
make the whole more beautiful, rather than just trying to be alive.
That's deep.
So deep, yeah. Sorry.
It's fine. I mean, I'm just, in my head, I'm like, that's a lot. Yeah. So my next question is, how has creating art in general, has that changed your personality? Because I know, of course, you started at a very young age, so I'm sure that's probably been the pattern. Have you seen yourself evolved personality-wise, with the way you look at things, with the way you look at the world, with the way you look at people? Has that changed your personality in any way? Do you have moments where, you know, I just need to be in my complete quiet and just absorb what's around me? You know, what's that like for you?
The main feature that painting gave me, actually art has gave me, I think is critical thinking.
Wow.
Yeah, critical thinking, because you have to be a critical thinker to be an artist, and this is the main condition that you must have. So, and I'm really happy to be a critical thinker, and I think all people should be, and they are in different levels. But critical thinking. After that, the second thing that I can mention is finding my personality. For example, by paintings and doing lots of years of paintings and printmakings, I found that I'm a minimalist person.
You sort of discovered your
Discovered
craft,
my personality, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Probably without that, it was impossible to discover my personality.
Yeah. So you say, like, to be an artist, you need to be a critical thinker. Like, artists see the world differently.
Yeah. First of all, you have to criticize yourself every time. It's like the second question about depths. You have to criticize yourself. What I'm doing, is it right or not? Am I going forward or I'm going back?
Right.
You have to do it every time.
That's good. My next question is, have you ever done like a piece of work and you just think it's rubbish?
Many times.
Because I mean, as a creative, I feel you're going to have more rubbish work. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right way to put it in clear, but I know you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you've done this painting and you tell yourself like, what have I done? Like
I
I'm
have to
so
remove.
ashamed of myself. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. I think most of artists
Yeah.
feel that way, and they remove the rubbish
But do
artworks
you
and
yeah.
ask your question.
Yeah, I'm saying like for me, I've made stuff that when I look back, I'm like, nah, it wasn't me. But then again, what's interesting is I've made stuff that to me it didn't make sense. But when other people see, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. So have you had moments like that where you critique because again, as a creative, you self-critique a lot. You always because now you're not just seeing things from your way, you want to see things from your way on the way of the audience or whoever will
Yeah.
be looking at what you've done. Now it's a hard space to be in. So, and you hold yourself to a certain standard. So for me, I've done stuff that I'm not very pleased with. And then when other people see it, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I really, really like this. I'm like, okay. Have you had that? Have you had moments like that where
A
you've created
lot.
stuff and you're like, oh man, I don't like this, and probably your friend comes around and say,
That's
man,
amazing.
this is
Masterpiece.
Yeah, this is a masterpiece.
You were
So
not satisfied
have you had?
with your artwork, but others
Yeah,
told you that.
yeah, because again, I feel like that's the weight that we as creative get to carry all the time, because we're not seeing things from our perspective only. We try to see things from our perspective and the people that possibly will be seeing.
And I want
So it's a very difficult space to be in. Yeah, go on.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
This time, which side is right, yourself or audiences? Do you think?
Well, which side is right? Well, I do as much as I do what I do to please myself, right, and to please the people that will be seeing it. And if at the end of the day they are satisfied and I am probably not satisfied, I don't beat myself up. Because you know what? I feel like sometimes, like I said, I might be over analyzing things. I might be putting so much pressure on myself. And like I said, we self critique a lot. I might be just, thinking about things that's not what it is, or assuming things that doesn't present itself that way. So who's right? I feel like as long as the audience are fine with it, I'm fine. In cases where I do stuff and I'm not very satisfied, which is, it's always going to happen. So if I do stuff and the audience are not satisfied with it, if I do stuff and I'm not completely satisfied, and the audience or whoever the viewers are gets to see it, or whoever owns the painting, or whoever owns the work that I've done, if they're pleased with it, I think that's enough. Sometimes
Can be enough.
Yeah, that for me, that's enough.
Yeah.
So in that case, I would take theirs as being right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I try to see it. Because again, you can't always get it right all the time.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think both of you are right. For the audiences, they're pleased.
Yeah.
They can remember you by that artwork.
Yeah.
It's okay. And for yourself, you know that it's rubbish. And the only person that know that,
it's you.
It's you. And it's essential for yourself to be that rubbish for continuing the process. That's only for you.
Yeah.
And don't tell anybody.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't want to tell anybody, because, again, you are the artist, right? You know where you felt like you would have done things differently.
They're your secrets.
Yeah, so they're your secrets. They're left with you. So okay, maybe I have to move this here instead of putting it here. I have to move this here the next time. So you've learned from it. And again, it's amazing how things can be perfect in hindsight, because then when you look back, okay, I should have done this that way instead of this way. Okay, it makes sense now.
Makes sense now.
I mean, as long as I learn from that particular process, I think that's a win for me.
Yes, it is.
That's a win for me. And I think that's how we should, take things.
I had this experience a lot. For example, I just wanted to fill all of the walls in the gallery
Right.
for an exhibition.
Right.
So I put it something that I was not pleased enough, completely satisfied with them on the wall. But in the exhibition, that artwork was the one that make all the audiences satisfied, and
Yeah.
they remembered that one
Yeah.
after that. And I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked that wow, I didn't know that this one
was
is
going to
very
get all the
good.
attractions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had, of course, I've had similar situations where I've made stuff and I'm not very pleased, and like I said, the person comes and picks it up and is like, "Oh, this is fantastic. This is amazing." I'm like, "Okay, well, of course, you don't want to show that you're not very pleased with it, but of course, we have those moments, and I think it's there to show us that we're human still." And we can make mistakes, and even in our mistakes, people can still find perfection in those mistakes. And even when we feel, because I've made stuff that I'm like, oh, this is going to be nice, and I've given it 100%, and the person sees it like, what in the world did you just do? So there's still moments like that. So you learn from both sides, and you pick up your pieces, and you build back up.
And it's a good experience, and there's like some lights in your way. They shows you the way, and
exactly,
you can pick some points from them.
Yeah. So do you feel?
I really like this question.
Yeah. So thank you. So do you feel like, have you gotten enough recognition doing what you're doing, and how has that helped you? I know you being a student of Teesside and them giving you that platform, has that given you any sort of personal branding, or has that helped you in any way, like pursuing this as a master's degree?
Being a master's degree, do you mean?
Yeah, like gaining a master's degree in what you're doing. Has that helped you, with the exhibitions you've gone to? Has that helped you in terms of being more yourself, if that's the question?
To be honest, if I was not a master's degree student in Teesside University or any other university, and being in my studio, the difference in practical aspect, I mean, would not be very different. But in some other ways, it has some advantage for me. For example, it enhanced my critical thinking. It enhanced my
networking as well.
Networking, yeah, and shows me the way. How can I be a better lecturer?
Do you want to be a lecturer?
Probably.
Right.
Yeah, probably in my field of study.
Yeah.
Even I'm thinking to a PhD course.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good. Still in the creative side.
Sure.
Creating.
In fine arts.
Fine art, yeah.
Fine arts fields.
That's good.
Thank you. I'm searching for a position. I'm not sure yet.
Well, I'm hoping, and I'm sure you're going to get something. I'm hoping, and I'm sure you're going to get something, because you're really, really good at what you do. And one of the artwork that I think that I still like, there was one that with the markings on them, the one where I stood in front and you took a picture, and I was asking you, what was what was the inspiration behind
tile painting?
That painting, and then putting marks on them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's there, the background. I can show you again if you like. Yeah, thank you.
So what inspired that painting, first of all? Do you see yourself continuing as a fine artist, or are you going to do something different at some point?
Completely different.
But still in fine art?
No. I will always be an artist, fine artist. Even
like when I mean that, I mean like taking up as a career path, like That's what I'm saying. Like, do you see yourself doing that full time and taking that as a career path, or you want to do that as a side hustle or a hobby?
Never. No. No. Because I can't do anything else.
Oh.
I don't have any ability.
This is like everything for you.
Yeah. Even if I want to study a PhD course, it will be connected and completely related to fine art. And beside that, I have to do my artworks.
Right.
I have to do. Even I want to be a teacher. I will be an art teacher, and I will work in a studio for painters and printmakers. And I have to do mine. I have to paint and print my own artworks. It will be a story. It will be the story, nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to change when this is all you've known for since you were 5, for over 3 decades now.
Yeah.
So it's hard to just make that switch, and yeah.
Yes.
I completely understand. So what's the plan for you? What's the long-term plan or short-term plan, whichever one? What's the next step for you after school?
After school, as I mentioned, I'm applying for a PhD course.
Here in Teesside?
No, not in Teesside, because the thing that I'm looking for is not provided by Teesside positions.
Yeah.
I have to change my city, probably going to London or Manchester. This is a plan that I have. Otherwise, I will try to be an art teacher.
Right. Do you belong to like any community or like a group of artists here in Teesside? Like,
there's a society, art society,
like the society,
Tees Art Society, but I'm not an active member.
You're not active. Is there a reason why you don't enjoy it there, or just not the time to?
Both of them, to be honest.
Sorry?
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
Honest, yeah.
Why don't you enjoy it? You don't think?
Because I'm looking for a society that members are like myself in the same level.
Yeah.
But in Art Society of Teesside University, some of them are so advanced, some of them are not.
Yeah.
And it's good to be there, just
to have a feel
as a gathering.
Yeah.
And do some figurative paintings. But the thing that I'm looking for is a group that all of the members are like myself in
the same
abstraction paintings.
Oh,
yeah. To push ourselves, to push each other to going forward, and introduce some opportunities, some galleries, some shows, to provide some equipments, this kind.
Yeah. I mean, that's good that, but you still, is there like a famous artist that you look up to when in art? What's the person's name?
Do you mean in this area? Or?
No, like in general, who, any?
Lots of them.
Lots of them.
Lots of them, yeah.
Like you get inspired from the work and what
I have a list.
You have a list of so which one is top there for you?
At the moment, Gerhard Richter.
Oh, the German
painter.
German painter.
Yeah. At the moment, Gerhard Richter.
Is he late or is he
not yet?
Yeah.
Not
but
yet.
He's inactive.
Yes, he's inactive.
Yeah.
He's so old, probably.
Yeah. So what defines? So I know you said abstract. You do a lot of abstract painting.
Yes. And
is that what would you? I mean, yourself. You said you do a lot of abstract painting. Yeah. Is that what defines your painting? What defines your style of painting?
Do you mean how did I find it?
No, like what defines your style of painting? Like, how would you say? How would you explain, or how would you tell someone, "Oh, my painting, I do more abstract, this, that." I really don't know much about it, so I can't tell.
Okay.
So what's that for you?
If you ask about my painting without any previous information, I would describe my painting like this. I'm an abstract painter that paints simple and minimal shapes. 2D, not 3D.
Right.
I mean 2D image, and I just try to be simple. Sometimes I'm geometrical, sometimes I'm not. I do painting in my sketchbook and on canvases, and I just make it easy. I'm a formalist, minimalist, simple, abstract painter.
That's a lot.
5 items.
That's a long. That's a long.
You
name.
need to be. You need to
Yeah.
be so detailed these days.
Yeah.
You can't say I'm abstract painter or I'm a figurative painter. Okay.
You need to be
Which
precise.
kind?
Yeah.
Which kind? If you can describe in details, means that you have to go forward. Still, you need to go forward.
Yeah. Do you have like a memorable moment during your painting journey over the past years? Like that moment where it could be when you've done this exhibition, like I think
Yes.
you mentioned one.
Yeah.
You have like what was it like for you?
Kind of award and receiving lots of attention
Right.
that I was looking for.
And did that in any way like give you, of course you've always had the drive, but did that help you? Does that foster the drive in terms of, oh, maybe I'm doing something I love and I'm being recognized for what
Yes.
I do?
Yeah.
You felt that way?
Yes. In my opinion, probably lots of painters are like me. Holding an exhibition is the best moment.
Yeah.
Because you receive the award for your efforts, you receive the attention. Some people buy something.
Yeah.
And the most important part is receiving some opinions. Curators, for example, and other artists, they come to your exhibition and tell you some points that you didn't notice. And it will be some lights on your way, in your way. For example, my first solo exhibition was my best moment during my career. It was the last day, and I was thinking to finishing. I was thinking that, okay, it's finished. It was very good.
Yeah.
That was great. But in the last day, a painter that is really good came to my exhibition and visited the exhibition, gave me lots of positive vibes, and told me one point about one of the prints that was interesting and changed my career for 2 years.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it sort of opened new channels of thinking for you.
Yeah.
Because you were able to see the things that you didn't think was there.
Actually, I was waiting for him because he's a good painter and writer, writing about paintings.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good
kind of
combination.
curator. Yeah. He's very good in my country. He's very famous.
Yeah.
And he came. I'm proved that he came to my exhibition. He gave a point about one of my prints.
Yeah.
That changed my career. I was waiting for his opinion.
And when he
And
dropped
he was
it,
right.
it was like boom for you.
Yeah, he was right.
So, well, I'd not like to, it's amazing how much you had to share in this episode. But my question again to you is, what would you want to be remembered for? Of all the things you've mentioned, you have such an incredible insight about painting.
Yeah.
What would you want exactly to be remembered for?
Such a good question. That's a very good question. If you're asking about my career in art, I prefer to remember as an abstract painter and a very good printmaker that was pioneer in printmaking and abstraction in my culture and my country.
Are you recognized in your country, Iran?
Not very well.
But people know you.
Some people.
People in your neighborhood.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Are there much?
But I'm not famous.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not.
Do you have many people around, like say in your neighborhood, that do what you do?
Yes, they are.
So are they very good at what they do?
Some of them are. Some of them are very good.
Do you look up to any of them? Have you got friends that did painting as well? Just same thing you've done or same thing you're doing? Have you got friends that do the same thing you do?
Yes, they are. Most of them are living in Tehran, capital city, and the main galleries are in Tehran.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be a successful, famous painter, printmaker, visual artist, you have to be in Tehran. Or communicating.
Why is that though? Why do you have to be in a particular place?
Because it's capital city, it's a very big cosmopolitan space, and all the galleries are focused in this.
Right.
And has a long story of visual arts, so you have to be there. For example, it's right about all the world. For example, all around the world. For example, you have to be in New York these days. New York is the main center of art. Previous, it was Paris during the 19th century.
Oh, nice.
And about local places, it's right. For example, in my country, you have to be in Tehran.
Yeah.
I'm not well recognized during the galleries at the moment. I have been, but I'm not among the 20, 30 most well recognized artists at the moment. But I'm trying to be.
Yeah, I mean, listen, to be honest, I feel I've seen your work, and having had this conversation, I can tell that you're very passionate about what you do.
Thanks so much.
And I wouldn't be surprised if I see you up there.
Really?
Maybe in the UK, maybe in your country, maybe anywhere.
Thanks so much, man. I mean, you will be invited.
I'm hoping that, I see you doing really good stuff and creating really impressive artworks for big companies, and hopefully they pay you well. Please pay him well.
Thank you.
So my last question
Listen to him.
Yeah, please pay him well. And my last question to you is, what's your advice? Because I always ask this question. What's your advice to anyone wanting to go into art?
Anyone who wants to be a professional just
anyone
enjoy
who
it.
wants to take creative art or fine art as a career path,
as a profession.
Yeah, as a profession.
Take it easy when you are arriving, but take it very serious when you are in the process.
Right.
This is the best advice, I think.
When you say take it easy, can you talk us through?
Take it easy means don't think complex. Don't think that
keep simple. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, and don't think that you can't. Everybody can. Everybody. But if you dedicate yourself,
right?
If you dedicate yourself, dedicate your time, and actually, in some ways, you have to sacrifice many things.
Yeah.
Especially your time. You have to read. You have to practice a lot, but take it easy. All the things that you are doing is right. Your style is right. Your taste in painting is right. Yeah. This is the best advice, I think.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you still, Ehsan, for being on our second episode of this podcast.
I can't wait.
We're happy to have you, and hopefully the next time you come here, you share a lot more insights, exciting stories, and we'll be happy to always, have you talk to us anytime. So thank you very much for coming here, and thank you very much for being our guest.
I appreciate the opportunity you gave me.
Thank you.
To talk about myself, my career.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. I don't know how long we are talking about. So
probably close to an hour, I would say.
I felt like 10, 15 minutes. Really. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I like to talk about
what
these
you do.
Topics. Yeah, these topics. I like to be challenged.
Yeah.
And your questions were very good.
Thank you.
Some
Thank you
of
very
them,
much.
some of them
Yeah.
were excellent.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for the second episode.
Of course, I'm always here anytime. Shoot me a message and we'll
Yeah,
make it happen. Thank you
I'm
very
at your
much.
service. Thanks.